welcome back to another episode on my channel. My name is Celeste and I am your host and certified life coach. Today I want to unpack a common misconception, and that is the idea that being busy and being productive are the same thing. But before we go any further in today's episode, I want to just address the virtual elephant in the room, and that is the different format of today's video. This is an idea that I've been playing with for a while, and the stars have aligned this week with challenges in terms of recording in my usual setup, and I also was invited as a guest speaker, and I attended that virtually, and I was reminded of the freedom of being able to just sit and talk without a camera in my face and worrying about what my facial expressions are doing every 5 seconds. So, as I say, the stars sort of aligned that this was a good week now to test out this format. And I hope that I'll get some feedback from all of you whether this works or not. I've been thinking for a while, I don't think it's entirely necessary for me to be showing my face on every episode. I will probably include a little thumbnail on the screen, so for those of you who haven't watched my videos before, you can put a face to the voice in the name. But for those of you who are familiar with my content, I think you very well know what I look like by now. So with that being said, if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel, and after this video, please do leave your feedback down below in terms of whether this format works, whether this is something you think I should incorporate more on my channel. I would love to hear from you. So, for today's topic, how many times do you find yourself saying, I'm just so busy, or there aren't enough hours in the day? If you're like most people, including me, the answer is probably a lot. But being busy, is it the same as being productive? And is it really the path to success? That's what we're going to explore in today's episode. So whether you're listening in your car, during your morning run, or while taking a break from your busy day, get ready to rethink about what it means to be productive. Let's start by talking about what it really means to be busy. In today's society, there's a lot of pressure to always be doing something. It's almost as if being busy has become a status symbol. Think about it. How often do we equate a packed schedule with being important or successful? It's as if the busier we are, the more valuable we feel. I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but this mindset can actually be a trap and detrimental to our success. Being busy often means we're constantly multitasking, always in a rush, and have little to no time for rest. We're filling our calendars with back-to-back meetings, endless to-do lists, and commitments that leave us exhausted by the end of the day. But here's the thing, busyness gives us the illusion of productivity. It makes us feel like we're accomplishing a lot because we're always doing something. But are we really moving forward with this busyness, or is it just busy work? Let's break this down. Busy people often mistake activity for accomplishment. Just because you're constantly working on something doesn't mean you're making progress towards your goals. In fact, the more you spread yourself thin, the less likely you are to focus on what truly matters. You might be busy, but are you actually being effective? The consequences of constant busyness are significant. Physically, it can lead to stress, burnout, and even health problems. Mentally, it creates a sense of overwhelm that makes it hard to think clearly or make good decisions. When you're always busy, you're not giving yourself the space to reflect, to be creative, or to recharge. And without that, it's nearly impossible to achieve meaningful success. So what does it mean to be truly productive? Let's start with a clear definition here, I think. Productivity is about achieving meaningful results efficiently and effectively. It's about focusing on what truly matters and cutting out all the background noise and busyness. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what's necessary to achieve your goals. There's a big difference between being busy and being productive. Productive people prioritize tasks and align with their goals. They're intentional about where they spend their time and energy. Instead of filling our day with as many tasks as possible, we need to focus on the few things that will actually move us closer to our objectives. Another key difference is how productive people measure success. Productive people look at outcomes, not just at activity. It's not about how much you do, it's about what you achieve. This comes back to this sort of old idea of quality over quantity. It's about the quality of what you're doing, not the quantity of how much you're doing. And here's something that might surprise you. Productive people make time for rest and reflection. They understand that downtime is essential for maintaining creativity, motivation, and overall well-being. Rest isn't a luxury, it's a necessity in all of our lives. So let's look at some practical examples. Productive habits might include setting clear, achievable goals, breaking down those goals into manageable steps, and eliminating distractions from our lives. It's also about setting boundaries, learning to say no to things that don't align with your goals or add unnecessary stress to your life. By focusing on what's truly important, you're not just busy, you're productive. And that's a critical distinction I want to make today. And if you haven't already, I do have an episode up on setting boundaries that covers the basics of how to identify when a boundary is needed and how to set that. So now that we've explored the differences between being busy and being productive, let's talk about how you can make that shift in your own life. First, it all starts with a mindset shift, which if you're new to my channel, you might not have heard me talk about, but resilience and mindset are my two things that I probably talk about the most here. So your mindset shift, you need to change your thinking from I need to be busy to I need to be effective. Redefine what success looks like for you. Instead of measuring it by how much you do, start measuring it by the results you achieve. This isn't just about working harder, it's about working smarter. One of the most effective ways to do this is through better time management. Effective time management and prioritizing tasks by urgency and importance ensure that we're able to focus on what truly matters, that we're focusing on the productivity versus the busyness. And we do this through coming up with schedules for our days, and scheduling is difficult. I think if you're not scheduling effectively and you're not being adaptable, a schedule can almost do more harm than good. So you need to ensure that you're doing this in an effective manner and allowing for, if a distraction comes up, it's not a write-off of a day, it's not an excuse to now procrastinate and get back onto busy work. A schedule is a guideline that we try and stick to as best as possible, but we acknowledge that we need to be adaptable when things don't work out. Otherwise, it becomes a tool for distraction and procrastination. Another tool that I love and that I have been producing and uploading content for on my channel is study and work timers, where you work in short focused bursts with breaks in between. And this can boost your productivity by helping you stay on track without burning out. And I've seen that my 35-5 split timer has become the most popular on my channel. So perhaps if you're not familiar with these tools, starting with either one of the lower ones or the one that seems to work for most people could be a good place to start. Another key strategy is time blocking, scheduling specific times for focused work and for rest. Yes, rest is just as important. Without it, you're not going to be able to sustain any level of productivity for any length of time. It's crucial to regularly reflect and realign. We need to take time to review our goals and the tasks we're spending our time on. Are they aligned? Are we making progress, or are we just staying busy? Reflection allows us to see what's working, what's not, and where we need to make adjustments. A real life example for me here was when I decided to start this YouTube channel. I spent a huge amount of time watching tutorials and videos on how to create videos and how to set everything up and how to do the editing. And the reality was that until I actually started doing it and seeing where I was getting stuck, I was just staying busy and not being productive. I needed to take that leap and record that first video and sit and struggle through the editing and figure out what I needed to know. I could have watched all the videos available on the internet if I had the time for it, and it wouldn't have helped me if I wasn't actually learning from it. And a lot of things in life we learn by doing. And this is one of those stages where I had to realign. Was my use of my time aligning with the goal I wanted to achieve? Was watching all of those videos resulting in videos being uploaded on my channel? Let's recap the key points from today's episode. First, remember that being busy is not the same as being productive. Productivity is about working smart, not just hard. It's about focusing on what truly matters and letting go of all the rest of the noise and busy work. So here's your challenge. Take a moment today to reflect on your own life. Are you busy, or are you truly being productive? Identify even just one area where you can make a shift from busyness to productivity. Maybe it's setting clearer goals, eliminating distractions, or simply taking time to reset and recharge. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. How would you implement these changes in your own life? Feel free to share with me in the comments, and let's start a conversation about how we can all work smarter and not harder, and redefine what success looks like in our lives. And that brings us to the end of today's episode. And as I said at the start, I would love to get your feedback in terms of your thoughts on this format. What works, what doesn't work? Do you prefer the old video format? It's definitely been a different experience recording like this as opposed to with the video camera setup. But I want to hear from you guys what you think and whether it's working or not. So until next week, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and stay productive. And I'll see you all next week.